Welcome to another my thoughts on the current comic book market. This is March 2015. I'm just dating this video in case years from now I go back and take a look at it. But so we just had the fairly two large auction at two major auction house, Comic Connect, Metropolis, and Comic Link. And going forward, every time that we have a big auction like this, whether it's Heritage or Comic Connect or Comic Link, I will give a market recap. There's no way to go through every book, and I don't think anybody would want to hear my thoughts on every book, but I pull out some interesting tidbit that caught my attention. Some of the result surprised me on the upside as well as the downside. First off, at Comic Connect they have an Action 1, not a surprise, the king of Action 1. They had a 5.0 copy. For those that of their customer, they send you this catalog with beautiful pictures inside. It's a 5.0 and the final hammer price was $658,000. I have no idea if that's high or low. It's just a huge amount, regardless if it's high or low. But it's always amazed me to see that kind of numbers on any comic book. Because as I said many times before, comic book is not like art. It's not one of a kind, so it's always amazed me to see that kind of price on anything, regardless of the significance. Okay, so but a 5.0 went for 658,000. The big shocker, I think, of the night was Detective Comics 31. One of the most highly sought after pre-Robin tech book out there, and wow, they had two copies. One was a 4.5, really nice looking copy, and one was a 0.5. Okay, a 0.5, decent looking copy, but it's missing the entire back cover. Okay, so it's incomplete. I'm not a big fan of the grade 0.5, but the two lowest grade that you can get at CGC is 0.5, and then below that it's NG. If you buy a coverless book, I think it's NG, I'm pretty sure. But if it's one cover, one part of the cover, one piece of the cover, then it's 0.5. But the final hammer price for the Tech 31 4.5 was $86,000. Wow, that's steep. That's it's crazy. And trust me, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, I had many chances to buy books like that for a third of the price, and I thought that was crazy. So to see something 6 years later going for this kind of prices, it's head scratching. It's one of those things where you're just like, wow, some people just have a lot of money to buy. I wouldn't say waste or throw away, because who knows, it's their money, but still, some people, the most appropriate phrase would be, some people just have a lot of money to buy things. Even a bigger shocker of the night is a Tech 31 0.5. Can anyone guess the final hammer price? $22,000. Yeah, that's one of those like OMG kind of. What? $22,000. That is just crazy. Okay, it's just, I have shown this before, but it's worth taking it out again. Here's my copy. It's restored, but it has a back cover. Oh, call me. It's not for sale, but for the for the crazy price, I might consider. No, still, I like to keep mine for a few more years. But still, 22,000 for an incomplete book. Wowza. Whew. And then, you know, jump over to Comic Link, and they always have thousands of books to auction up on a monthly basis. There's no shortage of comic books over there, and you know, it's not. They also have a coverless key, an Amazing Fantasy 15 coverless, that's sold for $2,000. You know, for those that you know, if that's your Grail book and that's as much as you can afford, sure. I don't think $2,000 is crazy, because anything with a cover will cost you twice that amount, if not more. So, you know, I guess 2,000 is reasonable for a coverless Amazing Fantasy 15. The one book that I thought went fairly, I hate to use the word cheap, but the one key book that I thought went for a reasonable price, lower than I expected, was Amazing Spider-Man 50, the first appearance of Kingpin. There was a 6.0 that sold for $256. That's very reasonable for anyone that looked for an for a first appearance of Kingpin. And then a 6.5 copy sold for $376. I thought that was pretty affordable. You know, mid-grade, Key, Silver Age are still affordable in my opinion. Now, the book that is still pretty pricey would be Spider-Man 129, First Punisher. Do not subscribe to GPA analysis, so I have no idea what the price trend is, but these prices seem pretty strong to me. Maybe the market, the speculators are speculating on potential movies or TVs down the road again for the Punisher, and it would not be a surprise to me. I have said this many times in the past 2 years, that if there is one character that would do very well on TV, Punisher, because it's a kind of character like Daredevil that require storyline to build over multiple episodes, as well as entire season instead of 2-hour movies. And it's a kind of character where you do not need a lot of special effect to shoot the show, so it's inexpensive, much like Daredevil. You know, you don't need a lot of special effect. That's how Arrow is doing so well. You know, you have characters that is reality based, not a lot of special effect, and you can include a lot of good action. So a 9.6 copy of Spider-Man 129 went for over $3,300. That's not cheap. A 9.4 copy went for $1,655. Not cheap. And a 9.2 copy went for $1,255. So I'm guessing that that's where those books are expected in the price range. Not too high, not too low, just right, but not cheap. The one book that I thought got a better price and kind of surprised me was Astonishing Tale 25, the first appearance of Deathlock. I figured by now his appearance in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. has cooled off and he will be, for the most part, forgotten. But a 9.4 copy went for almost $200, so that's still up there. I wouldn't pay, you know, for that book, in my opinion, because I don't think Deathlock the character had much room to go. I could be wrong. They could somehow bring him back into the show and make him much more interesting than what he was. I like Deathlock. I wish he was better in the TV show, but not a big fan of the TV show or that character. And then here's another cheap one, Avengers 6. Avengers 6, first appearance of Zemo, the supposed hot book because of him and the potential movie. A low grade copy, a 3.0, went for 78 bucks. Okay? So that gives you an idea. If you're gonna go chase that book on eBay and it's low grade, don't pay too much for it. Okay? Don't pay too much for it. I hate to say it, but Zemo is not all that interesting to me. And then a book that is cooling off, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Since, like I said, I don't subscribe to GPA analysis, so I don't know the price. But Avenger 55, first appearance of Ultron. I think this book has already fallen down. The trend is already downward even before the movie come out. A 9.2 copy went for just over $600. I think that's low. A 9.0 copy went for $435. I think that's also low. The book that is still hot is, of course, Avenger 57, first appearance of the Vision. A 9.4 copy went for $2,500. $2,500. Let's see. One book that caught my eye also was Batman 251, the iconic Joker New Adams book. And this price I thought was pretty strong for that book. I think. A 7.0, bunch of mid-grades copy. A 7.0 went for 200. A 6.0 went for 170. A 5.5 went for 150. Wow. Ooh, I thought that was pretty strong prices for that book. Next we have Demon 1. Demon 1 9.0 went for 147, which surprised me. It gave me hope that what I paid for my poorly wrapped Demon 1 that I felt was one of the worst buy I ever did, the regrets that I paid $100 for, it made me feel a little bit better that, hey, maybe I can recoup my money there. But the big shocker at Comic Link was Fantastic Four 45, the first Inhuman, is the group. Wow, is that book crazy expensive? And the movie is years away, 3 years away, I think. A 9.2 copy of Fantastic Four 45 went for $3,800. OMG. An 8.5 copy went for $2,100. And a 6.5 went for over $700. Yeah, it made me happy that I have a copy and I paid less than all three of those prices. Frightening. The bargain of the night, okay, for me, since I'm not, for me, is Foom 1. Oh man, if I don't follow the auction closely enough to look at every listing, and I just have too many books in my head to search for every book. But the one that I would have bid on it if I follow more closely was Foom #1, the fanzine by Marvel. It was a nice copy and it went for $40. I would have paid $40 for Foom #1. Hero for Hire #1, first Luke Cage. Still pretty hot from the TV show coming up. A 9.0 copy went for $783. Yo. Here is a head scratcher here. Inhuman #1, the nice bronze books that was drawn by George Perez. Not the first appearance of the Inhuman, but sure, it's the first time they have their own book, but a 9.8 copy went for $450. Wow. Marvel Premiere 15, first Iron Fist, still pretty hot. A 9.6 copy went for $927. A 9.4 copy went for $603. A 9.4 went for $603. I can tell you 3 years ago I had a 9.4 and I couldn't sell it for $200. Luckily I listed, couldn't get it sold for $200, so I kept it. So I still have it. Should I sell it? For $600? Last but not least for this video, so I don't go too long, is Marvel Super Heroes 18, the first time the title Guardian of the Galaxy appeared. Okay, that book is controversial in that it's not the same team on TV, so it's not as if the first time that team is in the comic book. That's the name, Guardian of the Galaxy. That book was really hot after the movie blew up, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong once again, that these prices are declining. An 8.0 copy of that book went for $391. I think that's on the low end. And a 5.5 copy went for $121. Not sure if that's high or low, but if I had to bet, I think that's on the low end also. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this new take on this topic. If you do, let me know and I will do more videos in the future similar to this one. Thanks for watching.